I thought my eyes were lying to me when I saw XRP at $91 on Kraken. For a split second, I wondered, was this a glitch in the system or a peek into XRP's true value? A few days ago, XRP's price suddenly shot up over 4,000% on Kraken, hitting $91.62 before crashing back to reality around $2.20. It happened so fast, within minutes, that it felt like a fever dream. One moment, XRP's price chart looked normal. The next, there was a giant green candle towering over everything. Now, I remember my phone buzzing like crazy with alerts and messages from friends. Did you see XRP on Kraken? Now, I jumped onto the exchange, and there it was in plain sight, an insane wick up to $91. Now, my heart skipped a beat or two, but by the time that I could even process it, the price had plummeted back down to the low $2 range. It was as if the whole incident never actually happened, leaving only a bizarre chart spike as evidence. Naturally, the crypto world and community went pretty wild with speculation. Was Kraken hacked? Did some billionaire accidentally market buy at the market top? Or, the juiciest theory, was this a glimpse of a real XRP price suppressed behind the scenes? Now, nothing else in the market was spiking, of course. Bitcoin wasn't 10xing, Ethereum wasn't going crazy. It was just XRP on that one exchange, completely in a vacuum. So, what on earth actually happened here? And more importantly, what does it mean for those of us holding XRP and trying to navigate this crypto world? Well, let me take you on a journey that I went through, because this $91 XRP saga turned into a bit of a learning experience. It's a story about exchange glitches, wild rumors, and I'm doubling down on being prepared for anything. First off, yes, this was almost certainly a glitch or a data error on Kraken's side. Now, I hate to burst any hopeful bubbles here, but there is no secret XRP moon mission that only Kraken knew about. In fact, just before that massive spike, Kraken's data bizarrely showed XRP's price crating to almost zero, around 0.0027 cents. For just a few seconds too, then zooming up to $91 and then back down to normal. This was all happening within about 10 minutes. So if that doesn't scream technical error, I'm not sure what does. And market data confirmed that it was only on Kraken. Everywhere else, XRP was chilling around $2. Obviously, to this drama. Now, if this were, some legitimate search, then we would have seen arbitrage traders swooping in, and the price align across the exchanges in a bit of a flash. That did not happen at all. So I stayed calm. Okay, sure, I was freaking out for a moment, but, I stayed logical here. I didn't run out to sell all of my XRP thinking it was suddenly worth $91, nor did I go ahead and FOMO buy a whole bunch more. I just watched, I took screenshots, for the crypto history books, of course, and I stayed and started digging for more of an explanation to what was actually going on. One interesting theory came from a smart cookie named Jay. This is a builder in the ICP, Internet Computer Community. Now, he pointed out that this might have to do with how exchanges calculate the average price on large orders. Now, stick with me here because it is pretty clever. XRP is divisible into tiny units. These are called drops, by the way. Now, one drop equals 0.000001 XRP. So, at the price of around $2.20 per XRP, one drop is worth about 0.0000022 of a dollar. Basically nothing, right? Now, imagine someone placed a rather large order, and somehow one single drop in that order got filled at a crazy high price. Some say glitch or rogue trades happened, or maybe a buyer paid, 1 cent for that one drop of XRP. Now, I know that 1 cent, it sounds absolutely tiny, right? But It's actually huge relative to the 0.0000022 of a dollar, right? So it's kind of like paying $10,000 for one full XRP if you do the math, which I know some of you guys probably did. Now, for the buyer's overall order, of course, which might be, I don't know, let's say 5 XRP total, that overpriced drop would rarely actually affect their average purchase price. Maybe they paid $12.51 for 5 XRP and a drop, right? Instead of maybe $12.50. It's not a big deal to them. But the exchange's system, however, sees that tiny portion traded at an absurd rate. When the chart plots the trade, boom, you get this massive spike reading $91, or in this example, even $10,000. Even, though 99.99999% of the order was actually at the normal prices. In simpler terms, a minuscule slither of a trade at a freak price can trick the exchange's chart into showing an astronomical value, even though the real market price never actually budged. It's kind of like one single eBay auction for a Pokemon card goes for $1 million due to a prank, and someone glancing at the market might think, wow, all the Pokemon cards are now worth $1 million. Well, of course not. It's not like that. It's just an outlier, a glitch in the data. Now, I suspect that's exactly what's actually happened here with XRP's $91 moment. A tiny part of a limit order got executed way off the market price, and the system momentarily lost its mind. Now, Kraken hasn't, to my knowledge, put out a detailed post-mortem or anything like that at the point of this recording. But I'm recording this about 2 days ahead of time due to having to edit and do all the other stuff that goes with the videos. But this explanation fits the evidence a little bit here, right? The price, it jumped and fell instantly with no follow-through volume, right? The chart literally just showed a solitary candle up and right the way back down. It's kind of like the classic signature of a glitch or a flash wick, right? We've seen it before, and oh boy, have we seen it with XRP more than any other crypto. See, here is where things get crazy. This isn't the first rodeo for XRP and freak price errors. No, not by a long shot. XRP has had the history with these ghost pumps and phantom crashes. For example, back in January of 2019, Coinbase's chart randomly showed XRP at $7,308 for a brief moment. That one was likely a data mix-up with Bitcoin's price or something like that. And then, of course, in late 2021, both CoinMarketCap and Coinbase displayed XRP's price at an astronomical $161 million per coin during a system-wide glitch that affected many crypto assets. And yes, that was $161 million for a single XRP, basically infinity, right? Now, of course, that wasn't real. It was a display error that got fixed really quickly. Now, we've also seen more grounded glitches because in August of 2023, when Gemini, a US exchange, relisted XRP, their order book was so thin that XRP briefly spiked to $50 on their platform too. That was more about illiquidity or illiquid market, still kind of a glitch in a sense, I guess, but caused by the trading side of the dynamics. And it's not always fake highs either. Sometimes it's fake lows too. In April of 2023, an XRP perpetuals market on BitTrue crashed to nearly 0.0001 of a dollar. Basically zero, right? Due to some malfunction. And that did trigger a whole bunch of very unfortunate liquidations for a lot of traders who had their stop losses there or maybe insufficient margin. Ouch. Another time, of course, CoinMarketCap showed up with XRP at an absurdly low price. Even a TV news ticker mistakenly displayed XRP at $21,000. I bet someone at the news station had a rough day after that one, right? Heck, just past summer, One market tracker glitched and showed XRP at $691,000 per coin. It's like XRP is a magnet for these extreme errors, right? Other cryptos glitch occasionally, sure, but XRP has had a whole gallery of glitches and glitch artifacts, ranging from basically worthless to literally priceless. So, what do we take from this pattern? Well, if you're one of those XRP true believers who thinks that these glitches mean something, like maybe XRP's real price is being suppressed and these are leaks of, well, the future, I hate to say it, but the evidence doesn't really back that up. Why would the true value sometimes be near zero? These errors cut both ways after all, which tells me that it is just technical shenanigans, not the Illuminati of crypto pulling strings. Believe me, I do get it. It is fun to speculate that maybe, just maybe, one day XRP will instantly be repriced to the moon when, some switch is flipped on, right? I do get it. A lot of us do hold XRP hoping for big things. Maybe it's not the $161 million per coin big, but you never know. Higher than $2, right? We do have to stay rational, because extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and a weird Kraken candle is proof of nothing. It's not a proof of a secret master plan or anything like that. It is, however, a reminder of something rather important. This is that exchanges and data aggregators are not infallible, right? Glitches, they do happen. Fat finger trades happen, as we saw on Cardano with a guy who lost $6 million. Right? And yes, outright manipulation can happen too. We live in a wild west of finance here, folks. Now, this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile, and you could lose all of the money that you invest. You should always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. After all, your investments are entirely your responsibility, and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses, and this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, with that reality check in place, let's talk about what I'm doing in response to all of this news, and what you might consider doing too. Now, the big lesson for me is actually be prepared and to stay calm. Now, I cannot control when an exchange might glitch out or go offline or have some kind of crazy wick, but I can control how ready I am going to be to deal with it. And one thing that I've learned over the years is to never put all of your eggs into one basket, especially not one exchange. I have a personal strategy here, which I've mentioned many times before, to sign up, KYC, and test out as many exchanges as possible. Basically, I'm going to want to have a plan A, a plan B, a plan C, D, E, F, G, the whole alphabet if you will. Why? Because you never know when you're suddenly going to need an alternative exchange. Exchanges, they can and do go down, sometimes right when you need them the most. And it's happened in the past bull runs too. A big price move starts and everyone rushes to trade and boom, exchange number one is overloaded or has maintenance issues. If you've ever had an account there, well, you would be stuck waiting for the opportunity, or at least waiting while the opportunity actually slips away, or your anxiety levels go through the roof, right? Now, if you have another exchange account ready, verified, and funded, well, you can, of course, just say, okay, that's all right, plan B, let's go. And you just keep on rolling. Redundancy is the key, right? It's like having multiple escape routes in a theater. You hope you never need them, but it's there in a fire, and you're going to be glad that they are there when that happens. And on that note, I do also want to mention something that I'm pretty excited about. I have partnered up with Kraken, yes, the very exchange where this glitch happened. The irony of this, right? But it is to bring you guys a very limited, special, limited time offer, that Kraken is doing. Kraken has approached me and said, we would love for you to communicate with the XRP army. And it's one of those things that is very important to you guys. So Kraken is actually one of those exchanges that I do trust, even with a glitch. And I do use Kraken regularly. And right now, they do have this perfect promotion for anyone who is looking to get set up on the exchange ahead of the next bullish run. Now, here is the deal. If you sign up to Kraken using my link that's in the description below, and it's also on our website, by the way, and you trade $100 or more of any crypto, excluding stablecoins, within 30 days of opening your account, Kraken will credit you with $25 worth of XRP for free. That is right. You deposit or buy $100 of any crypto, excluding the stablecoins, you're going to get a $25 XRP bonus. It's a pretty sweet deal, especially if you're trying to stack more XRP. Now, full disclosure, because of course we play by the rules on this channel. I'm not here to hype up anything. I'm here to tell you things as they are. Now, the link that's in the description, that is an affiliate link, which means that if you use it, it actually supports the channel here at no extra cost to you, right? You get free XRP, and I get a little kickback to help keep me making these videos for you. It's a win-win situation, keeps us both quite happy. Now, if you're interested, all of the details, the terms and conditions are all in the fine print, and it's important that you do read them because there are some jurisdictions that are restricted from taking part. So again, terms and conditions linked in the description down below. It'll take you to Kraken's website and you'll have all of the details there. Now, it's also really important to also note here that this is a promotion that is offered by the crypto exchange Kraken. It is not affiliated with YouTube and it is not affiliated with us here. Okay, this is just something they wanted me to present to you, the XRP army. Now, everything I've linked down in the description just for you guys. So you can do your own research and check it out if you want to. Don't procrastinate too long on it because this is an offer that won't be around forever. It's a limited time deal. So even aside from the bonus, having Kraken account ready, set up and good to go is, in my opinion, a smarter move. It's one of those well-established crypto exchanges that's been around for over a decade. I mean, they've been operating since 2011. That is ancient in crypto years. I've personally tested it out. I've done the KYC and I've made trades and withdrawals. It's solid in my humble opinion. So yeah, plan B, plan C. Get them all lined up right now, not later. If Kraken ends up being your plan B, then you've snagged some extra XRP for your troubles too. Now, by the way, for transparency, pretty much all of the exchanges that I use are listed on my own website, which I've put a link in the description down below too. And on my website, I list all of the exchanges that I do personally use and have accounts with. And those are also affiliate links, which means if you do sign up to any of the exchanges that I've used, then use those links. It actually supports the channel here at no extra cost to yourselves. I want to mention that to make sure that everyone is fully aware that those are, of course, affiliate links as well. I only partner with platforms that I do personally use and I do personally believe in. So if you ever see and use any of my links, then you know that you're actually helping me create this content and keep it coming for you guys. And I do really deeply appreciate that. So I want to spend a little bit of time here just to say a big thank you to anyone who does go over to our website and checks out any of those links. Always check out the details and decide whether it is right for you though, because that is the most important thing. Just because I'm using them doesn't necessarily mean it's right for you guys. All right, so we've got the exchanges covered. That's the be prepared part of the trading side, right? But this whole adventure also got me thinking about decentralizations, at least decentralization, and the alternative ways to engage with the crypto space beyond just trading on centralized exchanges. Now, one project that I have been exploring, and I've mentioned it in a few videos before, so long-time viewers will recognize this, is something that is called Unity Nodes. Now, it is a new, I should say, initiative that really has caught my attention, and it ties into my strategy of making my crypto work for me wherever I can. So, what the heck is Unity Nodes? Well, in simple terms, it's a collaboration between World Mobile and Minutes Network that aims to create a people-powered global telecoms network using everyday devices like smartphones. So think of it like this. Instead of big telecom companies running all of the infrastructure, you and I can just run these little nodes on our smartphones, right? Something like a smartphone or a tablet that helps support the telecoms network and collect very valuable data. Things like, how the coverage is, the call quality, any dead zones, things like that. And for contributing that data and testing out the telecoms network, we actually earn crypto rewards. It's kind of like crypto mining or staking, but with a twist. Right? You're not just validating transactions here, you're actually helping build a distributed wireless network and data service. It's a pretty cool fusion of blockchain technology and telecoms industry. Now, I'll be honest, when I first heard about Unity Nodes, I was intrigued, but I was also a little bit skeptical. It sounded almost too futuristic. Turn your phone into a mini cell tower and earn some crypto, right? But the more that I researched it, the more that it made sense. Essentially, World Mobile, which some of you guys know, is building a decentralized wireless network, particularly focused on providing internet in underserved regions, has joined forces with Minutes Network, which is all about crowdsourcing mobile network data. Together, they created Unity. Now, to participate, you have to obtain a Unity node NFT in the form of a license in the form of an NFT. And I actually bought a master node NFT, which gave me 200 license NFTs, basically meaning that I could, in theory, connect 200 different smartphones to their network, or maybe Raspberry Pis, but I don't want to go into that one. That's pretty techy, if you ask me, and I don't know how reliable that would be. Right, but whatever way that you kind of want to support the network with some kind of wireless device or something like a smartphone or a tablet. Anyway, then they act as a node in this network. Now, obviously, I'm not going to go crazy and deploy 200 phones right off at the bat. I'm starting small. I'm going to start a test with 10 phones to see how it all works out. Want to make sure that the system is stable, that the returns are as expected. And if it doesn't, well, won't melt my devices or anything crazy, right? And if it is successful, then I'm going to consider scaling up more gradually. What's really neat here is that the rewards from Unity, they're not in some random token that's just being created. No, you can actually choose to be paid out in various different cryptocurrencies. Right now, the really cool thing here is they've actually partnered up with Polkadot and added Polkadot as one of the assets that you can, of course, be paid out in. And they've also just had a partnership with Shiba Inu. And Shiba is also now a token that you can be paid out in too, alongside other big hitters like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, and of course, XRP. So yes, I figured if I'm going to be doing this, I might as well earn some of the coins that I really do believe in. Things like Bitcoin, ETH, ADA, XRP, right? And XRP is, of course, on that list. It's going to be the one that I probably take a lot in. Now, it's kind of awesome to think that I could be stacking drops, and, larger amounts of XRP simultaneously of course, by basically just running these telecom experiments in my house. It's kind of like staking, but with a completely different network. And my stake is basically some old smartphone instead of some coins. Now, people are talking about Unity nodes because it's one of those outside-the-box ideas in crypto that might actually have some real-world impact if it works out. So imagine a mesh of users that run devices all over the world, feeding data and extending the connectivity, and everyone gets a piece of the pie. It fits that broader crypto ethos of decentralization. Take the power and the profits that are usually in the hands of big corporations and spread them out to the community. Will it succeed? Well, we're going to see. There's a lot to prove here. Technical hurdles, adoption hurdles, you name it. That is why I'm treating this as an experiment. Now, you should do your own research if it sounds interesting to you. I'm going to put some links in the description down below to Unity's light paper and their rewards calculator so you can dig into all of the details for yourselves. Check out how it works, what the potential earnings are going to be like, and more importantly, what the risks are. Because no, this isn't some magic internet money machine. There are, going to be some efforts and some costs involved. Devices, electricity, time, all of that's going to be involved. And as with anything in crypto, there are no guarantees. Now, I'm in a position where I can take a little bit of risks on a novel idea and not lose sleep over it. Your situation, it might be slightly different. So the decision, that's on you. You see, one thing that I love about our community here, shout out to everyone who's in the free educational Discord, by the way, you guys rock it. It's that we share these kind of opportunities and that we learn from each other's mistakes too. Many of you have asked me about Unity in the past, and I wanted to be rather transparent that yes, I've taken the plunge in a measured way. As the results, they come in, I'm going to be updating you guys on how it's all going too. If it ends up being a flop, I'm going to tell you that as well. Because hey, not every experiment is going to pan out. If it ends up being great, well, that's awesome. More passive crypto for me, and maybe for some of you guys who decide to try it as well. Either way, it's a journey, and the journey, in fact, and of course, the knowledge that we gain, this really does count. All right, let's zoom back out and wrap up this story today, because we started with that wild $91 XRP glitch and ended up discussing decentralized mobile nodes. Talk about a bit of a ride, right? But it does all tie together under the theme of expecting the unexpected and, of course, staying prepared. The crypto world will throw curveballs at you. Sometimes it's going to be random exchange errors. Other times it's going to be groundbreaking new projects or an opportunity that you just didn't see coming. Now, my approach is to meet the chaos with preparation and curiosity. When I saw that $91 XRP print, I didn't panic or celebrate prematurely. I investigated and turned it into a bit of a lesson. It reinforced why I spread my funds across reputable exchanges, and I keep backup plans. It reminded me why I have the disclaimers, because things can go from ordinary to absurd in just a blink. And you've got to keep a level head. Now, it also rekindled my appreciation for the innovative spirit in crypto. I mean, one moment I'm thinking about possible exchange manipulation, the next I'm configuring a fleet of phones to earn some crypto through a telecoms network. There's kind of never a dull day in the crypto space. If there's a takeaway that I want you to have, it's this: stay calm, stay informed, and stay flexible. Don't let a flashy headline or a Twitter rumor be the only source of your truth. Dig deeper, right? If something sounds too good to be true, like $91 XRP out of nowhere, you know what? It probably is. But find out why it even happened. Usually there's a kind of explanation that can teach you something about how the system actually works, or in some cases doesn't work. And when you encounter the risks like exchange glitches or outages, think ahead about how you can mitigate those risks. Right? Maybe that means opening extra exchange accounts now. Grab that Kraken bonus while you're at it. Or setting up a price alert instead of a market order. Or keeping your coins in a secure wallet when possible so that an exchange issue doesn't lock you out of your crypto. Little things like that, they go a long way. For those of us who love XRP, this glitch doesn't change any fundamentals. It's not proof of any grand conspiracy, but it's also not a reason to lose hope. XRP is still doing its thing. The ecosystem is growing, with developments like potential spot ETFs and actual real-world adoption in payments. Keep your eyes on that prize, not on freak chart anomalies. I also want to let's keep this conversation going, right? If you have your own theories about what happened on the Kraken exchange or have experienced other crazy glitches, drop a comment or join the Discord and share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your stories, right? It's kind of a therapeutic way to swap those war stories of wild kind of crypto moments, isn't it, right? And our Discord, link in the description, it's free, it's fun, and it's full of people who are learning and investors of all different levels. So come on in and say hi. At the end of the day, the $91 glitch will be one of those things that we look back on and laugh about, or maybe even groan about. It's a reminder about how unpredictable and thrilling the crypto ride is. And as long as we approach it with knowledge, caution, and a community to lean on, then I believe that we're going to navigate it just fine. Anyway, thanks for hanging out with me and listening to my little adventure here today. If you found this story enlightening or at least entertaining, then please smash that like button. It really does help the channel more than you know. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss our next crypto adventure. There's always something crazy happening here in crypto, and I'm here to break it down with you all. Until next time though, stay safe out there, and I'll catch you in the next one.